The village of Eldergrove bustled with activity. Evelyn and James prepared to depart. Gratitude emanated from the villagers. Their bravery had saved Eldergrove from the clutches of the Shadowlings, but their quest was far from over. The fate of the world rested upon their shoulders. Its warmth spreads through me, a beacon of hope in the face of uncertainty. We're ready. They were ready. Their destination, Seraphel, an ancient city lost to time and swallowed by the vast desert. Legend spoke of Seraphel as a beacon of knowledge and power. It was said to hold the secrets to combating the encroaching darkness. Evelyn and James knew the risks. The vast desert was a treacherous expanse, but the whispers of Seraphel called to them, urging them forward. They ventured out, leaving behind the safety of Eldergrove, their silhouettes shrinking against the sprawling desert canvas. The vast desert was a formidable foe. Days blurred into nights under the relentless sun. The scorching sands stretched endlessly. Each step was a battle against exhaustion. Supplies dwindled. The weight of their responsibility pressed down on them. Doubt gnawed at the edges of their hope. Yet they persevered. The orb's radiant energy fuels me. We draw strength from each other. We're bound by a shared destiny. They drew strength from each other, two souls bound by a shared destiny. Just as their hope began to dwindle, the relentless sun beating down on them, their throats parched and their feet dragging through the endless dunes, a sight emerged from the shimmering heat haze. An oasis. Palm trees swayed gently, their leaves rustling like whispers of salvation. A crystal-clear pool shimmered invitingly, reflecting the azure sky above. Relief washed over them like a cool breeze. They had found respite, a sanctuary in the midst of the unforgiving desert. "We found it, James, an oasis, can you believe it? After all this time, we finally have a place to rest. Beware. The desert is a place of illusions. Not everything is as it seems. We must remain vigilant. Sandstorms will test your will, battering you with their ferocity, and mirages will deceive your senses, leading you astray." Narrator. As they rested, the cool shade of the palm trees providing a much-needed reprieve from the scorching sun, a figure emerged from the shadows of the palms. Khalid, a weathered traveler, his skin tanned and cracked from years under the desert sun. His eyes held the wisdom of the desert. He had seen many things, survived countless trials, and his presence commanded respect. He offered them food and shelter, sharing his provisions without hesitation, a moment of grace in their arduous journey. They ate and drank, their spirits lifting with each bite and sip. But his next words sent a chill down their spines. S2, finally, a moment of rest. But remember, the desert is not done with you yet. It has many more trials in store. His words echoed in the stillness, a haunting reminder that their journey was far from over, a reminder of the perils that lay ahead. The desert, with its shifting sands and hidden dangers, was a place of both beauty and treachery. They knew they had to stay alert, for the oasis, though a blessing, was also a place where shadows lurked and whispers of danger were never far away. As they prepared to leave the oasis, they steeled themselves for the challenges ahead, their resolve strengthened by the brief respite they had found. The journey through the desert was a test of endurance, willpower, and faith, and they were determined to see it through, no matter what lay ahead. The sun began to set, casting long shadows over the dunes, and they knew that the night would bring its own set of challenges, but for now, they had each other, and the hope that had been rekindled by the oasis. Together, they would face whatever the desert had in store for them. As the first stars appeared in the night sky, they took one last look at the oasis, a beacon of hope in the vast expanse of the desert. With renewed determination, they set off into the night, ready to face the unknown. Khalid's warning echoed in their ears, a haunting reminder of the dangers that lay ahead. As they continued their journey through the vast, unforgiving desert, the weight of his words grew heavier with each step. The sky, once a brilliant blue, turned an ominous shade of grey, signaling the approach of something sinister. The wind howled, whipping up sand into a blinding frenzy. A sandstorm was brewing, and it was unlike anything they had ever seen. It descended upon them with terrifying speed, a monstrous force of nature that showed no mercy. Visibility dropped to mere inches, making it nearly impossible to see anything beyond the swirling chaos. The air became thick with swirling sand, choking and blinding them as they struggled to find their way. "James, we need to find shelter!" Evelyn shouted over the deafening roar of the storm. "I can't see anything, Evelyn, just keep moving," James replied, his voice tinged with desperation. Evelyn and James, caught in the maelstrom, struggled to stay upright. The sandstorm's fury was relentless, battering them from all sides. The storm, a raging beast, tore them apart, each gust of wind feeling like a physical blow. They knew they had to find shelter soon or risk being lost to the desert forever. Desperation fueled their movements as they stumbled through the blinding sand, searching for any sign of refuge. Finally, through the haze, Evelyn spotted the dark outline of a cave. "There," she pointed, her voice barely audible over the storm. With renewed hope, they rushed towards the cave, their last chance at survival in the face of the sandstorm's wrath. Inside, the howling wind was muffled and they collapsed in exhaustion, grateful for the temporary reprieve from the storm's fury. As they caught their breath, they knew their journey was far from over. The desert had tested them and they had survived, but the true challenge lay ahead. With determination in their hearts, Evelyn and James prepared to face whatever else the desert had in store for them. Silence, eerie and absolute. The sandstorm had subsided as quickly as it had risen. Evelyn stood, disoriented, amidst the rearranged dunes. Her heart pounded against her ribs. She cried out, her voice swallowed by the vastness of the desert. Only the whisper of the wind answered her. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced her. She was alone, lost in a sea of sand. She clutched the orb, its warmth a small comfort in the face of her growing despair. S1. James. Section 7. The Mirage's Deceit. Days turned into a blurry torment. The relentless sun beat down. Hope began to dwindle, replaced by a creeping despair. Then in the distance, a glimmer of hope. Shimmering water, lush trees. Could it be? Was it the oasis again? Had she somehow circled back? With renewed determination, I staggered towards the vision, but as I drew closer, a chilling realization dawned. The lush scenery rippled, distorted. The oasis, nothing more than a cruel mirage, a phantom of my desperate hope. Section 8. The orb's guidance. Despair threatened to consume her, but Evelyn refused to yield. She clung to the orb. Its warmth spread through her, a lifeline to her dwindling hope. As she held it close, a soft hum resonated from its core. The orb pulsed with a gentle light. I focused on its glow, and a sense of calm washed over me. The light intensified, piercing through the desert's illusions. The mirages shimmered and faded, revealing the harsh reality of the desert. Section 9. Reunited and resolute. With the orb's guidance, Evelyn navigated the treacherous landscape. She followed the path illuminated by the orb's light, and then she saw him, James. He was leaning against a weathered rock, his face etched with relief as he saw her. "Evelyn, James!" Their reunion was a testament to their unwavering bond. The storm had tested them, pushing them to their limits, but they had emerged stronger, their resolve solidified. Seraphel, their goal, awaited. Section 10. At Seraphel's threshold, guided by the orb, they finally stood before it. Seraphel. The legendary city, whispered about in ancient texts and long-forgotten tales, now lay before them. Its grandeur was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Even half-buried by the sands of time, its majesty was undeniable. The ruins spoke of a civilization that once thrived, a beacon of knowledge and power that had mysteriously vanished. Giant, weathered walls loomed, etched with cryptic symbols. These symbols, though ancient, seemed to pulse with a life of their own, as if they were trying to communicate with the adventurers. The air crackled with an unseen energy. It was as if the very essence of Seraphel was alive, watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal its secrets. This was a place of ancient power, of forgotten knowledge. Legends spoke of the wisdom contained within these walls, wisdom that could change the fate of the world. We made it, James, this is it. The culmination of our journey, the end of our quest, and perhaps the beginning of a new era. Evelyn and James exchanged a determined look. Their journey had been long and arduous, filled with trials that tested their resolve and courage. They had braved the vast desert, faced their fears, and emerged victorious. Each step they took had brought them closer to this moment, a moment that would define their legacy. Now they stood ready to unlock the secrets buried within Seraphel's heart. The weight of their mission pressed upon them, but they were undeterred. The fate of the world once more rested in their hands. The ancient city held the key to a future that could either be bright or bleak, depending on what they discovered. Yeah, Evelyn, we did it, but our journey isn't over yet. The real challenge lies ahead within these ancient walls. Now, let's unlock the secrets buried within Seraphel's heart. With a deep breath, they stepped forward, ready to face whatever awaited them inside the legendary city. Eager to see what happens next? Like this video and subscribe to Mystical Mysterium for more thrilling chapters of the Enigmatic Echo. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single moment of the adventure.